feeling sciatic at the moment. I don't feel it all the time.
I do that, yeah, jamming works good. No, there was supposed to be only through 25. Amen. I know she gave her call.
Oh,
So I'm going to order it on Monday.
oh, okay. I was recommended to go to Excel on Cypress Village.
Well, this is, what do you call it?
idea where Brenda is.
Ah, that's true.
So they'll get the second string, me.
You're never second string. You're never second string.
They gotta
You know
think
what you're doing. But you know what you're doing as well, which is great.
do I? Sometimes I wonder. I really do.
You have no fear of that.
I retired in 2000.
Uh-huh.
You never know it.
You probably work more now than before you retired. Right, Tina?
Yeah, well, I had a part-time retirement job for 9 years, and they actually let me take it from Connecticut here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I was executive director of Connecticut Counseling Association. That was my retirement job,
Your retirement job.
which I fell into while I was still working because the previous exec, because of a career move for her husband, moved. And one of my colleagues goes, "You've got the skill set to do this." I said, "Okay, June, when I retire." They said, "No, we need you January 1st. Okay, then. I hope my team is,
Now you're a full-time volunteer.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. At least you got everybody in there? I don't have a script. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh, we got script.
No, I don't have a script to be people leader. I'll make it up.
Ricky, you have a script for the people leader?
She has a script. Well, Brenda's not here, so I thought I'd do it.
No.
Oh,
Brenda.
well, then get up. Then get up here.
Oh, I thought Brenda was like,
That's what the email said.
that's what the email said.
Don't forget to turn on.
Oh, there. Oh, Kathy? Yeah, Jacob's mom. Okay. Thank you. 1. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Before we get started, just a reminder, please silence or turn off your cell phones now. If you don't, there's a $10 tzedakah donation for each offense. I'm Susie Reingold, and I serve on your board as your communications director. Tonight's service will be led by the famous Rosengolds, Rachel Rosenzweig and Yuri Reingold. No, we're not related. Okay.
As far as we know.
Lisa Rubin Horton will be our incendiary to ignite the Shabbat candles. Tonight is our remembrance of Kristallnacht. Ricky Bauman, our president, will lead us in this. Tonight's Oneg Shabbat is sponsored by Margot and Jeff Ackerman to celebrate Jeff's birthday. Where are you, Jeff? Okay, there you are. Hello there. Good Shabbos. New members and guests. We don't have any new members, but we have a guest, Kathy Babbitt. Please stand or at least wave when I call your name. Very good. Thank you. We welcome you tonight and truly hope that you enjoy the service. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. We begin our service, as has become a tradition, with a Shabbat meditation. Please take a moment to settle into a comfortable position, feeling your body relax and letting go of any tension or stress. Close your eyes and allow yourself to breathe in deeply, filling your lungs with a gentle cleansing breath, and then exhale, releasing anything that no longer serves you. Tonight, we prepare ourselves to enter Shabbat, a time of rest, peace, and reflection. It's a sacred pause in the week, a gift of stillness. This is your time to reconnect, to let go of the busyness, to sink deeply into the calm and the quiet of Shabbat. Bring to mind the intention of Shabbat: peace, rest, renewal. Let these words resonate in your heart. Imagine that each breath you take draws you closer to these gifts of Shabbat. With each inhale, feel the light of Shabbat entering you, filling you with serenity and clarity. And with each exhale, release any worries, concerns, or stress of the past week. Now, in the tradition of Shabbat, let's imagine welcoming the Sabbath bride, the presence of peace and holiness. Envision a loving, calming presence entering your space. She is here to offer you rest and the deep renewal that your soul needs. Feel her blessing you, embracing you in tranquility. Breathe in her blessings of rest, of renewal, of peace. As you sit with the peace of Shabbat, allow yourself to reflect on something in your life that brings you gratitude. Hold this image or thought gently in your mind. Let gratitude grow within you, nourishing you, lighting up your heart. Thank yourself for taking this time to rest. Acknowledge that Shabbat is here to nurture you, to allow you to renew your strength, to fill your spirit so that you may go forward with a peaceful heart. Finally, let's dwell for a moment on the Hebrew word shalom, a deep peace, a wholeness. Feel shalom in your heart. With each breath, let peace fill you, a peace that stretches from this moment through the entire week to come. When you feel ready, slowly begin to bring your awareness back to the room. You may wish to whisper a quiet Shabbat Shalom, greeting yourself with peace. Take a deep breath and slowly exhale. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Dodi Lee.
Min we're going to invite Lisa Rubin Horton up to join us from the Bima to light the Shabbat candles.
We light a candle and the aura glows. A luster in darkness, we are lamps, each one. Rays shine outward, the splendor grows, recalling brilliance of a desert sun. Ours is a storm-swept age when faith and courage falter. Hope flickers like a dying ember's beams. Then to light a candle makes every heart an altar, and earthbound creatures soar to capture dreams. Night turns to dawn. We see each other's face when candles of our spirit light the near and farthest place.
Old school.
I'm still having trouble.
Watch your fingers.
Yeah, I'll do another one.
Wait. It's not lit.
It's not.
It was still burning.
No. I'm dangerous. I know. It's out. It's out. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech
haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Take my matches. I'll take the.
Please rise for Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho Yahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu V'otanu kidashta mikol ha'olamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Please be seated.
Okay. Now we're going to be welcoming the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi. We're going to be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. You should definitely play those numbers one of these days because I'm sure that will bring you some good luck. But anyway, join us if you know the tune.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, ניצחון בדיבור אחד. השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, וראש מקרב נשואה, סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורך ומאורי, אורי אורי שידברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובשולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
We're going to be continuing with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144, which will also be on the screen.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, וילמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם מעלמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה ברכו. לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה, ויאמרו Amen.
We all rise for the Baruch Hu, and this might be just a slightly different tune than you're used to, so just, you'll catch on. You're good. So, hold on.
Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed Leolam 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 Leolam
Please be seated. We continue on page 148 and on the screen. Let's read together. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are the creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
And we're going to continue now with Ahavat Olam. And if you know it, join us.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ata Torah u'mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu u'b'kumenu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed. Ki hen hayenu v'orech yameinu v'orech yameinu uvahen nege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla.
So the next reading we're going to be doing is one that I don't know that we've done here very often, but it's one that we used to do oftentimes in our old synagogue back in Pennsylvania, and so it's really special. The first time I ever read this, I literally almost lost my footing just because it just hit me that hard. So I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a responsive reading, please. So,
When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it.
Its highest teaching is love and kindness. That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties. Let us learn in order to teach. Hope you like that one.
Please rise for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We'll continue now with the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We continue with Micha Mocha on page 158 and on the screen.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף לנורא תהילות, אוסף למלכך, ראו בניך, מוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי אנו ואמרו, זה לי אנו ואמרו, אדוני אלוהי לעולם ועד. ונאמר, 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 כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק, חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני ישראל. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש.
We read together. It is evening, and children slowly dream away the storms of day. It is evening, and stars glow gently in the quiet heavens. Can we understand a dream? Find a net to capture the meaning of a glowing star. What bridge spans the vast space we must cross to reach understanding? How small are we who attempt the journey, and yet somehow we learn to find our glory in a brave and endless struggle to comprehend eternal mysteries. We are voyagers in an infinite sea, our destination always beyond the horizon, but we are voyagers. So that reading always makes me think of the rabbi, and just because that was one of her favorites. So that was like, it's just, you know, it's right there. So I hope you guys like that one too. Go ahead.
We continue with Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, L'shalom, L'shalom, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, Ve'amidenu Shamreinu L'chaim U'L'shalom U'L'shalom, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, Ufros aleinu Sukat shlomecha, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom. Now we're going to be continuing with the Amidah. So we'd ask you to please rise as we continue. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh cholim,
ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יחללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Please join us in reading on page 173 and on screen. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai, deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat.
We're going to be continuing now with the Ritzeh.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amecha Yisrael, Utefilatam be'ahava tekabel, Utehi leratzon, Tamid avodat Yisrael, Yisrael Amecha. El karov lechol korav b'nei lavadecha v'chaneinu, שפוך רוחך עלינו, ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון. ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון.
We continue with the reading on page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot.
And now we're going to continue with Shalom Rav, and this is the one that was written by our friend Cantor Shira Nafshi, and you probably know this one, so if you know it, join in. We haven't done it in a while, so.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata hu melech adon lechol ha-shalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol ha-shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
We continue with the reading on page 179. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and making musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first.
We continue with a silent prayer that's on page 180, and you can either read which is on 180 or whatever's in your heart.
יחיו רצון אמרי פי, יחיו רצון אמרי פי, פגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromah, Yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, ve'imeru, amen.
So now we're at the part of the service where we traditionally have been singing Lu Yehi. This is for, sadly, for those hostages in Gaza that have been held now for a year, over a year now. It's hard to get our heads around, isn't it? So we have our two spots here in the synagogue that have the talitot, and no one sits in them because they are reserved for those who should actually be sitting there. So in their honor, and hopefully soon we won't be doing this anymore, that they will be released, because it's long overdue.
עוד יש מפרש לבן באופק, מול ענן שחור כבד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. ואם בחלונות בערב, אור נרות החג רועד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי.
We're going to be doing the Misha Berach next, but before we do that, we're going to be reading the names for our Misha Berach list for our congregants, and then afterwards we're going to welcome you to list those folks who you're thinking of as well, and you can say them out loud, but first we're going to read those who are on our list here already. So we are saying a Misha Berach this week for Beverly Adler, Shirley Bergman, Barry Brown, Andrea Chasen, Batsheva Sarah Gamron, Arnie Goldklang, Alan Hirsch, Richard Hoffing, Liz Jacobs, Marcia Katz, Verdna Kelly, Carolyn Corlin, Wilma Levine, Marvin Lutzker, Marlis Markovitz, Barbara Milstein, Don Mostov, Paula Newberger, Leslie Rapkin, Fanny Reese, Betty Sarlin, Jacqueline Schindler, Mark Schoenholtz, Maxine Schoenholtz, Simone Shaw, Joe Sheff, Charles Steinberg, Norman Topf, Don Zion, Stanley Zarofsky, Leslie Zwain, Amit Ben Shirley, Ariel Bat Rivka, Ariella Bat Shoshana, Avra Bat Hinda, Bera Bat Shira V'Rachel, Chana Bessa Bat Golda, Chava bat Esther Malka, Chaya Esther bat Chana, Devorah bat Ruth, Devorah bat Sarah, Fegi Devasha bat Bracha, Cheshleb bat ben Devorah, Liv Shalom ben Fagel, Manya bat Fredel, Masha Sora bat Chana, Menachem ben Frima, Mendela bat Frima, Miriam bat Thelma, Mordechai ben Sarah, Moshe Hirsch ben Rachel, Pesach Lev ben Sarah, Sarah Mendel bat Chanaleah, Bracha bat Shirley, Shalom ben Pesel, Shul Yochanan ben Sarah, Shana bat Chaya Esther, Shana Bracha bat Yudit, Shana Leah bat Dvorah, Shirley bat Sarah, Shulamit bat Zillah, Tzira Razel bat Esther, Viola ben Hinda Bela, Yonatan ben Hasya. So if there's anyone else that you're thinking of that you'd like to mention their names, please feel free. So you can feel free to say them out loud if you'd like. Yes, ma'am. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you all.
Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Bo Yevarech v'Ropeh et hacholim. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Bo Yevarech v'Ropeh et hacholim. Elna refana, Elna refana, Elna refana, Elna refana. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Bo Yevarech v'Ropeh et hacholim. Bo Yevarech v'Ropeh et hacholim.
I'd like to invite our temple president, Ricky Bauman, up to the bima to lead our Kristallnacht commemorative program.
In German, it's Kristallnacht, which literally means night of crystal. We know it as the night of broken glass. Let me give credit first to Yad Vashem in Israel, the United States Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., and the National World War II Memorial in New Orleans for material for tonight's service. The name of Kristallnacht refers to the wave of violent anti-Jewish pogroms which took place on November 9th and 10th, 1938, throughout Germany, Austria, and the Sudetenland, which had just been annexed from Czechoslovakia. The violence was instigated primarily by Nazi Party officials and members of the SA, the Sturmabteilung, the stormtroopers, and Hitler Youth. In its aftermath, German officials announced that Kristallnacht had erupted as a spontaneous outburst of public sentiment in response to the assassination of Ernst von Rath. Next slide, please. Von Rath was a minor German embassy official stationed in Paris. Herschel Greenspan, a 17-year-old Polish Jew, had shot von Rath on November 7th, 1938. A few days earlier, the German authorities had expelled thousands of Jews of Polish citizenship that were living in Germany from the Reich. Greenspan had received news that his parents, residents in Germany since 1911, were among them. Next, please. Greenspan's parents and the other expelled Polish Jews were initially denied entry into native Poland. They found themselves stranded in a refugee camp near the town of Zabazin in the border region between Poland and Germany. Already living illegally in Paris himself, a desperate Greenspan possibly sought revenge for his family's scary circumstances by appearing at the German embassy and shooting the diplomat assigned to assist him. However, Greenspan gave another reason for killing von Rath. He claimed the two had a sexual affair. Soon thereafter, von Rath's planned show trial, and you know the Nazis were very good for that, was dropped, presumably to prevent embarrassment that might result from those revelations. However, it's unclear if the story was actually true. The story could have been fabricated as a way to protect the young man at trial and divert attention from his crime to a sex scandal. But German historian Hans-Jürgen Dorscher claims that the relationship claims were likely true, and that both Greenspan and von Rath frequented the gay bars of Bohemian Paris. According to Dorscher's version of events, Greenspan, who was living in Paris illegally, murdered his partner after the diplomat failed to follow through on getting him identity papers. Von Rath died on November 1938, 2 days after he was shot. This happened to coincide exactly with the 15th anniversary of the 1923 beer hall putsch in Munich, Hitler's failed revolution. The Nazi Party leadership had assembled in Munich for the commemoration and chose to use the occasion as a pretext to launch a night of anti-Semitic excess. Propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels, a chief instigator of the Kristallnacht pogroms, suggested to the convened Nazi Old Guard that world Jewry had conspired to commit the assassination. He announced that the Fuhrer has decided that demonstrations should not be prepared or organized by the party, but insofar as they erupt spontaneously, they are not to be hampered. Next, please. This is a map of what became Greater Germany. You have East Germany all the way on the right, East Prussia, which was separated with the Polish corridor after World War I, Germany itself, Austria, which had been annexed not long before, and then the Sudetenland underneath. Each dot, forget what the names of the cities are, each dot had a night of terror with destroyed synagogues, murdered Jews, Jewish shops destroyed, our Jewish way of life totally disrupted. Next, please. Goebbels' words were clearly understood to be a command for unleashing the violence. After his speech, the assembled regional party leaders issued instructions to their local offices. Violence began to erupt in various parts of the Reich throughout the late evening and early morning hours of November 9th into November 10th. At 1:20 a.m. on the 10th, Richard Reinhard Heydrich, in his capacity as head of the security police, the Sicherheitspolizei, sent an urgent telegram to headquarters and stations of the state police and to stormtrooper leaders in their various districts, which contained directives regarding the riots. Stormtroopers and Hitler Youth units throughout Germany and its annexed territories engaged in the destruction of Jewish-owned homes, businesses, synagogues, cemeteries, anything associated with the Jews. In this slide, that is a stormtrooper destroying a Jewish shop in Nuremberg. It's not people even disguised in civilian clothes, which they did. This was captured by a Nazi photographer. Next, please. Nuremberg, again, this is the interior of a destroyed Jewish shop. Next, please. Berlin. Members of many units wore civilian clothes to support the fiction that the disturbances were expressions of outraged public reaction, but not all, as we have seen and shall see further. Despite the outward appearance of spontaneous violence, the central orders Heydrich relayed gave specific instructions. The spontaneous rioters were to take no measures endangering non-Jewish German life or property. They were not to subject foreigners, even Jewish foreigners, to violence. And they were to remove all synagogue archives prior to vandalizing the synagogues and other properties of the Jewish communities, and to transfer that archival miracle to the security service, Sicherheitsdienst, or the SD. Next, please. Again, back in Nuremberg. Next, please. Berlin. The orders also indicated that police officials should arrest as many Jews as local jails could hold, preferably young and healthy men. The rioters destroyed hundreds of synagogues and Jewish institutions throughout Germany, Austria, and the Sudetenland. And it's not there. But back in the Polish corridor, that gray area that was between East Prussia and the rest of Germany, Danzig, which was primarily a German city at that time, was also, and that wasn't even in the Reich. Many synagogues burned throughout the night in full view of the public and of local firefighters who had received orders to intervene only to prevent flames from spreading to nearby buildings. The stormtroopers and Hitler Youth members across the country shattered the shop windows of an estimated 7,500 Jewish-owned commercial establishments and looted their wares. Jewish cemeteries became a particular object of desecration. Next, please. That is the Zedernstrasse synagogue in Prosheim. That was stained glass. You can see it all shattered on the floor. The pogrom proved especially destructive in Berlin and Vienna, home to two of the largest Jewish communities in the German Reich. Mobs of stormtrooper men roamed the streets, attacking Jews in their houses and forcing Jews they encountered to perform acts of public humiliation. Next, please. That's the interior of a Vienna home. Next, please. Another Vienna home interior. Next, please. Although murder did not figure in the central directives, Kristallnacht claimed many Jewish lives. The official Nazi figure for Jewish deaths was 91, but recent scholarship suggests that there were hundreds of deaths, especially if one counts those who died of their injuries in the days and weeks that followed. Police records of the period also document a high number of rapes and of suicides in the aftermath of the violence. This is destruction in Nuremberg. Next, please. See the sledgehammer? When you see these Nazis in uniforms, these were taken by the Nazi photographers as a record for them to glorify what they were doing. Next, please. Taking books to be burned. Taking books to be burned. Next, please. This is the interior of the Seitenstettenstrasse synagogue in Vienna when they were done. Next. Look at what they're doing. These are Nazi officials. Do you see them, the two in the middle holding a can of gasoline? Next, please. That's what they did in the synagogue at Fürth. Next, please. Gernsback Synagogue in Baden. Next, please. Siegen Synagogue. Next, please. Look at this carefully. This is the Oberamstadt Synagogue in Oberamstadt. The firemen are saving a nearby home. You'll see later what happened to the synagogue. Next, please. Herzog-Rudolf-Straße Synagogue in Munich. Next, please. Orienenburger Synagogue. Next, please. Neue Weltgasse Synagogue in Vienna. You can see the flames inside. Next, please. The ceremonial hall of the Jewish cemetery in Graz, Austria. Next, please. Bornplatz Synagogue, Frankfurt on Main. You'll see more of this one after. Next, please. The Opava Synagogue. Next, please. The Baden-Baden Synagogue. Next, please. This is the synagogue in Oberamstadt that the firemen were not allowed to save. They saved the house nearby. Next, please. Objects from the Zevin Synagogue, a pile of ritual objects set to burn, and the children are being watched by the SS men. Next. Dortmund Synagogue. Next. Ruins of the old Aachen Synagogue. Next, please. This is what was left of the Bornplatz Synagogue, that one with the big turret in Frankfurt on Main. Next, please. As the pogrom spread, units of the SS and the Gestapo, following Heydrich's instructions, arrested up to 30,000 Jewish males. They transferred most of them from local prisons where they were held to Dachau, Buchenwald, and Sachsenhausen. Those men were awaiting deportation to Dachau, from Baden-Baden. Next, please. Kristallnacht marks the first instance in which the Nazi regime incarcerated Jews on a massive scale simply because they were Jews. No other reason. Hundreds died in the camps as a result of the brutal treatment they endured. Many did obtain release over the next 3 months on the condition that they begin the process to emigrate from the Reich. Indeed, the effects of Kristallnacht spurred the emigration of Jews from Germany in the months to come. But as we know, the doors in the United States were closed shut. You can see the SS men guarding the Jews being paraded through the streets, and the Jewish star, I can't make out what the German is on the star. Next, please. Mass arrests in Baden-Baden. Next, please. The Jewish roll call at Buchenwald. The German government made an immediate pronouncement that the Jews themselves were to blame for the pogrom and imposed a fine of 1 billion Reichsmarks, about 400 million US dollars at the 1938 rates, on the German community. The Reich government confiscated any insurance payouts to Jews whose businesses and homes were looted or destroyed, leaving the Jewish owners personally responsible for all of the cost of repairs. Next slide, please. That's a tax document. The first line, you can see the big bold lettering in the middle. And then it's 4,000 Reichsmarks, and then an additional 1,000 Reichsmarks, which was a huge amount of money at the time. American newspapers across the country covered the Nazi assault on the Jews in front-page banner headlines, and articles about the events continued to appear for several weeks. German censors sought to block images of Kristallnacht from reaching newspapers in the United States. However, Life magazine was able to publish some images in its November 28, 1938 issue. After Kristallnacht, anti-Jewish policy was concentrated more and more concretely into the hands of the SS. Moreover, the passivity with which most German civilians responded to the violence signaled to the Nazi regime that the German public was prepared or would tolerate more radical measures. The Nazi regime expanded and radicalized the measures aimed at removing Jews entirely from the German economic and social life in the forthcoming years. The regime moved eventually toward policies of forced immigration, and finally towards the realization of a Judenrein Germany, a Germany free of Jewry, by deportation of the Jewish population to the east. Next, please. That heavily damaged scroll, that Torah scroll, is a survivor of Kristallnacht. These images cry out to us from 86 years ago. And we say, never forget. The German Jews never believed it could happen there. Could it happen here? Shabbat Shalom.
after this presentation, the phrase never again takes on a whole special meaning.
Why did it happen?
What did they gain from it? Stupid. What were they trying to prove?
That's a conversation I think we should have another time. Yeah, maybe in the social hall or something, not for right now. Okay?
I'm just raising the question.
It's a legit question. Yeah, sorry, it's just trying to come back after all that. That's a lot to digest. Thank you for the presentation, though, Ricky. Yeah, trying to get my head around it, too. I think we both are. We're going to continue with the Aleinu. That's going to be on page, 586. If everyone would please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד.
We read together. Let the time not be distant, O God,
when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all, created in your image, become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. As we read the names on this week's Kaddish list, please rise if the name of your family member is mentioned. Then we will all rise as an entire congregation as we join in Mourner's Kaddish. Today we remember Milton Augenstein, father of Jay Augenstein, Lonnie Basson, brother of Jay Basson, Esther Boyarsky, mother of Ronald Boyarsky, Manuel Nippon, father of Sid Charot, Faye Nippon, and Janice Nippon Sixt, Rosalie Berman, mother of Maggie Guzinski, Helen Leshen, mother-in-law of Joan Leshen, Shirley Robbins, mother of Allison Levine, Richard Kravitz, husband of Helen McCanich Kravitz, Alfred Mickelson, father of Bob Mickelson, Agnes Kaplan, mother of Sandy Mickelson, Max Goldenkrantz, father of Susan Pernick, Jonathan Rice, son of Cliff Rice, Gloria Goldberg, mother of Joy Rosen, Mildred Schoenholtz, mother of Mark Schoenholtz, Samuel Spiegel, father of Paul Spiegel, Carol Goblat, Max Sobel, Ruth Nathanson, Allison Levine, wife of Stephen Levine, Margie Smith, sister of Harry Jones, Seymour Lichtenthal. We also remember the 6 Jews of France who perished in the Holocaust: Fega Kopciak, Benjamin Finkelberg, Yitzhak Dukotsky, Yaakov Zilberstein, Renee Markowitz, and Lucienne Weil. Please all rise for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, Be'alma divrah chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chai echon u'v'yom echon, u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'alam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei, V'yithadar, v'yitale, v'yithalal, shmei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Please be seated.
We'd like to invite Susie Reingold back up to do the announcements.
Thank you, Rachel, Yuri, Ricky, and Lisa, as well as our extraordinary, indomitable, and exceptional tech crew. Here are the rest of our closing announcements. Here we go. Book Club meets via Zoom this coming Monday at 10:30. See Barbara Noba if you have any questions. Barbara will be more than happy to answer them. Men's Club regular membership meeting is at 12 noon Wednesday, November 20th. See Stephen Tabin. Our annual congregational meeting will be on Sunday, December 8th, 10 a.m. We'll start with a light breakfast of bagels and coffee, and then we'll recess into the sanctuary for the meeting itself. The Board of Directors meeting will immediately follow the annual congregational meeting. All are welcome. Barbara Grossman is our 2024 honoree at the Bobby Carpe Women of Distinction Program, Tuesday, December 10th, 2024, at Congregation Sharei Zedek. We celebrate and honor the dedicated women of our Jewish community at this annual event. Don't miss this one. Hanukkah it says through the years, but it's through the decades. Our rip-roaring benefit, authored and directed by Poet Laureate Dahlia Bear, has its world premiere on Sunday, December 15th. $18 per person, wine and cheese reception. See Joelle N. Bromberg or the Sholem News for your information. Beth Israel's month to volunteer for Meals on Wheels starts in January. Please contact Harriet Seckel for this major mitzvah for the homebound. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah. Are there any simchas? Yahoo!
All right.
Jacob mentioned that he's completing
other
his
simchas?
He's completing his conversion on Thursday of this coming week. Mazel tov.
Represent Beth Israel when he takes the plunge.
Any other simchas, anybody? Okay. Thank you again, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. Thank you, Susie. And we will. Let's try that again.
We need it for the guitar.
And
We need it
will
for the
conclude
guitar.
the service with surprise, surprise.
Adon Olam. Not the boring one, though. This is the fun one.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Lehet Nasa, V'chefza Kol, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra, V'yacharei, Kichlot HaKol, Levado, Yimloch Nora, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hoveh, Vehu Yeh, Betifara. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa V'chefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh Hu Yeh Betifara. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa V'chefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh Betifara, Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh, Betifara, Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh, Betifara, Vehu Haya Vehu Hoveh, Betifara. Betifara.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. Join us in the social
Join us
hall
in-
for Oneg Shabbat.
Yes.
Turn on your cell phones.
And turn on your
And
cell
turn
phones.
on your cell phones. Thank you, John.
Shabbat shalom, honey.
Shabbat Shalom, baby. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
You need help demicrophoning yourself?
Can you take that tape off of my shoulder? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's always one in every congregation, right?